What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Unreal Engine 5 game development live stream. We're back in our Deck Knight project, a game built from scratch using Unreal Engine 5, C++ blueprints, the gameplay ability system plugin, and all that good stuff. So today we're going to continue where we left off last time. We got this card template plugin, or I guess template project from Fab. We're recreating it from scratch, using it as a reference, of course. A lot of it's going to be one-to-one kind of copy, but we're taking things out that we don't need, and we'll make adjustments to things that we want to make adjustments to. Once we get the first pass in and we can actually interact with it, then we can inject our card logic in. Then we can add an item GUI thing to adjust the settings in real time so we can find positions that we like. And then we should be okay for a little bit, and maybe we can work on more gameplay related things. I want to make sure that, using the cards, interacting with the cards is interesting and fun, feels good before we move on. So that's going to be our goal for the next couple weeks here. Hopefully it won't take too long. So we only have a couple of days a week to work on this stuff, so gotta make the most of every single time. So let's go ahead and continue. So we're working on the card translation. So we're basically updating on Tick. We're basically updating the transform of these UIs of the cards to match things, and so we gotta basically update it on Tick. And I think I'm gonna probably nativize things in code as well down the line. But one thing at a time. So we gotta find our last starting point, which I believe I found. So we have this select. So now we gotta do another select. So now our bool is going to be local variables, right? There's gonna be there's a thing called amount. So do I have a max cards displayed, I'm guessing is the name of it. No, it's an input thing. So total num cards. So get total. Move this thing out of the way a little bit. Oh, we got a kitty in the building. Get total num cards. If it's greater than the max cards displayed. And we have another boolean do stack. So we need to introduce another bool under settings, I'm assuming. So we do stack on sides. We might not need this, but we'll see. And this. So we have a lot of stuff coming in from the B side. The B side is going to be get available width times minus 1 divided by current index. Excuse me. Index. Bam. Bam. This is added to starting point. Do one more plus. And bam. But in the end, we should be able to just put this plus into that. This final plus is just a little bit more logic, so we need to select float. We need to get the index. Greater than selected index equal to, and then he puts in like some large number. So int. So select int. So this So select index greater than or equal to 0. Then we pick select index. It's not some large number. Check hey, is this greater than that? We select float from that, which is here. B is 0. A is selected X amount minus minimum spacing times card width A. This. I believe that is everything. Or at least this part of the function. So calculate X translation, I think, done. So now we do translation Y old, which is not as bad. Calculate card translation Y. So we gotta get the card amount. So get cards, and then we're subtracting it by 1. To float. Divided by 2. Getting current card. Desired size. Splitting that. Getting the Y. Multiplying that. Y. Get card scale. I think we could just multiply this a third time, right? Get arc. That's not a variable yet. Settings. Our amount. Default value of that back away. Fine. So the result of that multiplication, we're doing a division. Do think that we're dividing it by 1. Both slots for some reason. That. Then back up here, we're doing a current part index minus this. The mod for the nodes, it is a combination of the darker nodes plugins and the electronic node plugins. Should be able to find them on Fab. I'll type them in. So, electronic node. Let's do a quote. Multiply this by itself, it seems. And do another multiplication. Like this. And we do another add. Now we need to make a new macro called calculate offset. Offset. Just returning float. One. Geometry. Size. One. Another. Float. Permanent. Draw. Offset. Bam, bam. Not sure why they made that a macro, but Y translation. Grab this. Okay, thanks. I've been meaning to check those out. Yeah, I think they're worth it. I forget how much they cost, but you know, if you're a visual person, it helps with that a little bit. There's some stuff Unreal does as well, but this stuff is obviously better. Okay, so that's the Y. So now we got to calculate card angle, which is not too bad either. So we gotta get the card angle, which yes, isn't that I have that parameter? Okay. Oh, let's make it equals angle 1 angle 2 get the total no cards 1 divide get current index that float heading one bam first chunk second chunk is card angle 1 select is index is 0 1 3 select to pull. Let's see card amount is 2 it's this if it's not this one more select is it equals to 1 true will be 0 false will be turn okay so let's start scratch again graph we call position cards so let's call position cards pass in delta time now we do the whole messiness reset random stream and cards in hand calculate transform calculate transform does the X thing that we did the Y thing that we just did and the angle that we just did then it goes to calculate selected card transform which we have okay so for the most part have that now card navigation let's double check so yeah this is where we left off a little bit more so we have to so we don't really want to do move mode so we just like it's going to be false each time so we need to call get previous card which we don't have. So this function. Get card. It returns an index integer. Card. Get the selected index -1. Max between that and 0. Card. A card in hand. Get. These are actually. Oh. Is that? Probably. I don't know if this really needs to be. Yeah, I guess it could be cons. Maybe it could even be pure. So, yep, previous card. Bam. And now select card. I think we have it. But it doesn't do anything. So now it's time to add the logic there as well. So first it sets a boolean for temp lock hover. We don't care about hover. Good. So first we check if the hand is not empty. I gotta remember some of these shortcuts because you could hold B and just bring out a branch instead of just looking at it. I wonder what else there is. A, Q, W, R. So N is do. N is comment. M, multigate. L, no. Oh, F is a for each loop. Nice. G is a gate. Okay, let's not get distracted. So we're going to check now. I guess I should rename this one. So we'll just call it index because we need to do a comparison to say, hey, is the index that we're getting not equal to the selected index? Or is from removal. So first we check, hey, this thing, that. And then we do a branch here. So if it is empty, we need to make thing. Or none. Let focus to. I don't know if I need to do this. See, because I feel like that's a lot just for hovering and stuff like that, but leave that out. This one is true. Check. Index is greater than 0. False. That's like index to that index, so this false goes here. And we check, hey, is this greater than 0? it's not. Somewhere here, not a big deal for some repetition. Disconnect is then we get the cards, get from index, select card to this. Now they do a bunch of focuses. I don't think I need to do any of these focuses because, again, I'm not doing any hovering or anything like that. I could put a comment maybe. Might need that focus. That keyboard focus on focus, I think. Unfocused is this thing. I don't know. We'll have to see what that truly means in the end. But yeah, back up here. So we need, I think, another boolean. But let's backtrack. So if this is empty, we have this, and we have. Am I getting lost in the sauce? No, it's not empty. Bam. Then this OR. Bam. This actually goes here. This does. Everyone goes nowhere. Now this one falls. Set unfocused, and then there is one. Mouse has so much cat hair on it. Hey, PA Interactive, how you doing? We're popping in. Just now. If this is true, get select part, so not setting yet, so oh, I don't speak that language, so I'm not sure. But hello. This is true. Here, not selecting text. Negative. Here, if this is false, I think that's it. So back to card navigation, we get previous card, then we call select card. Card navigation. That. Now we need to go to get X card. Assuming it's just very similar. Yeah. X. Bam. Hey, thanks for the subscription on YouTube. Much appreciated. Get next card. Just move. Also, select card. Bank. He thinks that's it. I'm not sure. Let's see. Let's look at our variables. So we have animation speed, we have card angle, card arc amount, card scale, yes. Selected card scale, yes. Selected show X amount. Selected show Y amount. So one, bandwidth percentage, maximum card spacing, minimum card spacing, 2 card stack on sides, card activation. And one. So card activation, right? Maybe we don't need it. Back messiness. Okay, so messiness. Okay, I guess we don't need messiness. I'm not sure. Just to be sure, let's see. If I do, hey, I'm still fighting with the card visuals. I think something is wrong with your mic. It's cutting in and out. I hope not. Nothing really has changed with the microphone. No longer. Okay. Yeah, we're still working on the visuals. I think I got all the functions and logic that we need, but now we gotta test it. It's like with their card hand implementation, they have WPP example, they have all this stuff, and then on initialize, I believe, they add all the cards to the hand. So I think I could, in theory, do this as well. So do a for each loop, we can add the cards, and then for each one we create widget. We got a kitty coming. Oh, goes to the basket. Good job, Boo Boo. Like this cat basket that we got that's attached to this desk is like the best purchase ever. It took her a little bit to get used to, but now she loves it. I do need a kitty cam, I know. Like eventually I'll need to like feed in a camera to see her napping. But yeah, she sleeps hard. So this flats. Okay, so that's our current thing, and this is visible. Then let's see what happens. Okay. Correctly. Okay. I don't know if that's the right UI. This is WB card hand. Okay, so you stay hidden. We have current hand. Let's move this one up top here. Let's move you here. I'm just gonna put it somewhere so it doesn't show. And I think I know why, because current hand isn't doing anything. This card template is no longer a thing because I nuked out a lot of the stuff. So let's grab their example stuff. Let's at least grab this template. So copy. Let's see if I get a bunch of cards. I do. Okay. Obviously, the cards aren't going to be this big on screen. But yeah, first we got to figure out card navigation. Because yeah, left and right trigger doesn't seem to be doing anything. So let's, first and foremost, let's get rid of you. How is this? What? So WBP current. Why? Or is it not? I'm not doing it in this graph. I'm doing it in this graph. Okay, so now let's find out what's going on. So we have current hand, select card left, which should be left trigger, which we get to. So that's good. So now we go in, continue, boom, boom, boom. So we get previous card, and then we get to select card. So index is 0. So we get into select card. So seems like this is the issue. Let's see what this fails. So that becomes -1. So I would want something to be selected automatically, but let's just assume if I press, say, right trigger. Oh, next. Okay, so this is not even connected, so that's already a problem. But yeah, let's do left trigger again just to double check our logic. So left trigger, bam, 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 bam. So where do we go? We're here, we're here, we're here, we're here, we're here, we're here. Okay, I'll do it again. We're here. So it fails here. So Fails. Maybe the previous card is wrong. Let's put a print string. Oh, maybe. So yeah, we do add card, and then we add, So it should be okay. So the select card is this. WPP current hand. We get here, and then we get here. Their version of select card or add card. I wonder why it ever really gets select card to be -1, but so get previous card. We're doing a print string. Let's get the value. Oh, stop. Break pointing. So we're getting 0. So it's always 0. So something tells me this max is wrong. Get previous card. Not sure why they do max is 0. I guess it doesn't wrap around? That's the problem? Maybe? Because yeah, we're at index 0. And then we want to get the previous card. So we're at 0. I want it to, like, unless we, how would you imagine? Like, if you're pressing left trigger, would you expect to wrap around? I think I would. So I guess I would have to say, so if selected index -1 is less than 0, like -1. Now let's print this index. We should be getting like 0 and then 4. So yeah, 4. Now oh, I got past that. Whoopsie. Yeah, so now I'm kind of flicking through it. So I think I need to put a delay, right? I think I had a delay. Let me connect the source control so I can diff this blueprint. Don't look, it's bright. Connect. Good. Significance depot, and there's quite a lot, but it should be in the event graph. So I'm doing pretty much like this. We just grab all of that. should just be able to say that thing. Does that compile? Let's see. Yeah. So now I'm able to cycle through the cards. Nice. Now I gotta do the same for the right, I believe. Seconds and value completed. Right. Hopefully that's Gucci. And yeah, when we activate or when we have a hand, we should start somewhere. But yeah, so now we're cycling to the right, but now we're not circling back. So WP hand. So when we do next card, we gotta not do min, but we gotta say, hey, is this -1 greater than length -1? If it isn't, do that. If it is, we go back to 0. So this should wrap us around, which it does. So now we're able to cycle through our cards again with left and right trigger. Already looking pretty cool. Now, again, my concern is performance, because of all this transform logic that's happening on tick. So I feel like, what happens if I don't tick that? Checks out. What happens if I tick that, but my tick frequency, is that all I get in here? I can't really put a tick value. Yes, either way, it's fine. Like, I don't like how much FPS I'm getting at the moment, but it could just be I have a lot of things open. So one, I'm not sure if I'm a fan of the arc that's happening, but this is where we would want to introduce like the IM GUI for the settings, probably. Just so we can get that going. So I'm not too sure how best to do that. Because again, I'll use IM GUI just because YOLO. There could probably be like a new one for like the card layout. And obviously I don't like the position, so we can probably adjust that too. So maybe something to the effect of like down here. Maybe that's kind of reasonable. Obviously now I'm hiding it. I will move myself up here for the time being. Open this up in a new editor window. Yeah, you can see like where the cards are at the moment. So again, I think there's potentially too much text on this example. I'm not sure if I want it to be arced. The scale, I think, needs to be smaller. And they definitely need to be more to the right. I guess I have to just anchor them, which I guess I technically am. It's not looking too bad. But also, yeah, I want to possibly update their opacity when they're not selected versus when they are selected. Like when they are selected, I would prefer that when they are selected, their Ys are set to, like, the shear is straightened as well. But let's just do one thing at a time. We haven't coded it in a little bit, so let's try to do that again. So we need to, let's stop that. So systems, debugging, panels. So we gotta make a new panel. It all kind of derives from all of this, right? So I will I'll just make it a empty one, and we'll call it FBAC card and UI station. UI yes. And so now let's grab this. Let's put right. So what do we need? We don't care about core minimal. Don't think we need ability system settings. We do need this. Eventually, when we have to migrate stuff to code, we'll probably have to include some sort of class, but here nor there. So yeah, we gotta do class. Blah, blah, blah. We grab that. Gucci. So now, yeah, debug name, update cache, blah, blah, blah. Boiler template stuff that we made, so we don't care about ability system settings. We don't care about selected pawn because it's only going to be the player. We're gonna probably need a bunch of static floats to represent some of this stuff. So for one, I know card spacing's a thing, so static float, card spacing. Okay, so now draw debug panel, generate code, definitions, yes. Let's open up CPP. So we just do that. Top, we have to do card spacing. I forget what the value is. All good. Now I need to Debug hub. Where's the debug hub? There's this panel. That's the root of everything. Debug hub 32. Register debug panel. I think it's in here. My subsystem, I'm pretty sure. Okay, so now I do debug hub. Sure, yes, and then include it. But should be enough to have it show up. Try to compile. See if we did that on the first try. And then we move on. Per usual, when it comes to code, I'm rarely correct the first time, so we'll see how that works out. Okay, we compiled. Awesome sauce. So these things could just potentially be it's just like a list of sliders and that's it. You know what I mean? But they would need to hook in into it. So, and that part I'm not sure how to do. Like if we play this now, so oh yeah, we called it damage. We gotta change the name. Hard and the out. That they can't have the same name. I would have to look up to see if I can somehow gain access to I guess I can make it a C++ class immediately, but still run all the logic and blueprints and just have the parameters exposed. I would have to look these up. Okay, now part and layout, it doesn't do anything because now we gotta just do the code. So again, we can use this stuff as a reference. So draw a debug panel. We can just do something like this. Something like that. And now I don't think it needs to be a table. I just don't remember if there's a slider option. So, oh, you know what's creepy? I wonder if this stuff is like listening to me in the microphone, because I'm asking for a slider and it says slider float and it just gives me that automatically. Like the autocorrection gives me slider float. Well, I feel like somebody's listening to me. Let's see if this actually does what I want to do. we'll see if that gets us the slider we want, and then okay. Hard lane layout, so missing end. That. Oh, ASMR. Now, yeah, card spacing, so we can hopefully slide it around. Now, how do we access that? Because it's in card field main, but also in the main HUD. And the main HUD is added in the player controller class. So, essentially, do something kind of gross where we say, you know, get all widgets of class by don't get all widgets of class. Put the syntax for that. Do I need the player controller? Is a widget library thing. So you get rent library. And I need to I think make this a C++ class at the very least. So let's do that. So we got main hub, current hand, blueprint, and it's got user. So I think I need to make. So I have a UI, right? So there's HUD, new models, healing, damage. HUD. Card. I might need to do a card template. Let me first make a subfolder. Cards. Let's do all classes, user widget. This do feeling. So I just put VAC. So. Okay. how it should. Quote, be able to make a property. This is generated body. That's dead. So body. So, example, new property. We don't want to bind it to sort of widget. We want to call this a float. Say card. Sync. Get the default value. Like 10. We don't need for minimal. Yep. So in theory, we should be able to. Then I need syntax. So we need to get world. So figure out the speed of the player color value. Okay. So I get the world from the pawn. How do I access all of those pawns? I should have it. Systems. I guess we're doing the damage events, right? Combo. Update cache pawns. For each of these, all update cache pawns. But how am I getting this? So yeah, we're filling out the table. In the debug hub. Interfaces, I'm only really doing it in that, right? There's no. On tick, we're doing debug update cache pawns and calls update cache pawns everywhere else. So it's really the responsibility of all of these to override update cached pawns. Cached pawns equals pawns, but I'm not sure where that's getting updated, honestly. Because I just want to try to figure out how to properly get access to the world. Because on tick, draw I am GUI. Ah, cache all pawns, that's where it is. So that's where it's doing it. Okay. What's in the subsystem? I'd like to be able to, before we end for tonight, try to get access to this UI. I want to say I wonder if I want to make I would say what? Yeah. If not world, then let's say hoping that's okay. Say Let's see what's wrong. I think that's right. For you user widget. Guess I also have to check here as well. Maybe I need to make this a variable. I know I've been quiet. I'm just kind of focused in on what I'm doing. Maybe I need to also make a we should eventually get to here. So let's see if this all works, because in theory it should work if we see the card spacing. There might be an end issue where I might have to do an complete end, but we'll see. First, let's see if this even compiles. Okay, compiled. Oh, my eye. I'm just checking some work stuff. So again, in theory, nothing should draw this layout, but it does. And I wonder why. Well, I guess because we never end, right? So if... do we ever get there? I guess I would just have to say again, maybe, like if... let's just do one thing at a time, I guess. So in theory, we'll do card spacing, and then I would have to just say card hand theory, that should compile. Get to my card, and I need to reparent this and find all the references for card spacing. So there's minimum spacing. Should be able to, in theory, reparent this to card hand, right? Doesn't break anything. And then we pass in card spacing here. So we crash. It's null. Okay. So if not card hand, I guess I just have to say like if let's just see if that does anything. Because I guess I don't know if you'll ever find it. Oh, let's see if that made a difference. Wait, so it's never really finding it. Yeah, the array is always empty. Not sure if this is the right syntax for it. Check. So I have to say static class, okay. Hopefully that makes a difference. If this works. We got 10-ish minutes left for the stream, so we'll see what we can end up getting to work. Fingers crossed, gang. Yes. So technically something is being fed in. So on tick, I just want to print out white spacing. Is this updating this value? So we got 10. Now it's 37. Yeah, seems to be updating it. Let's we have card scale, right? Well, let's do the same thing for card scale and see if that has the impact that we can. Card scale. I don't know what the appropriate number is, but we'll leave that. Quote, scale, bam. Should be good. This one's static float, scale. See if that does it for us. Okay. Now, oh, I should reopen that. Now let's find card scale. In a few different places. Yeah. Should be. I think it's safe. Yeah. Oh, let me find the default value. Card. Template right now. Card scale, they are saying it is No, okay. So 25, and let's put that in code. I'll have to rename the other ones with the min and max card spacing now. Recompile that. Let's look. Cards, so bam, card layout. Yeah, so by default, it's kind of doing some crazy stuff, but yeah, it doesn't. See how it's. Now it's not saving that value. Let's go. That's so we'll do 0.5 and I don't know, 10. The slider flow would have a. So it has slider flags. What's those? Maybe 2. It's reasonable. Let's do a recompile of that. Then we'll double check that, and then we should most likely initialize some of the values. So once we find the card thing, we get the default values from the widget, initialize all of our static integers and booleans, just so they'll match one-to-one what the default one is. But that could be for next time. Let's see if that works now. So cards seem normal. Card hand layout, yeah. So now they're 10 by default, but now we're able to scale them. So you could argue that 0.5 is too big, but maybe it's a spacing issue. You know what I mean? So we'll just assume that. So now let's do that last thing where we say card spacing that. First, what's that? Let's just do a compile, and then it's just about setting those up. And I know there's ways to save or write to the CDO. I'm not sure how to do that. That, and then there's that. Yep. I'll have to look at spacing. Spacing seems reasonable. But yeah, there's minimum and maximum, so we'll have to just see. Seems like so synchronized properties. there's some ways that we can try to get that, but more or less we got what we want. We're able to modify the properties in real time, or quote unquote real time, but still not entirely happy with the FPS that we're seeing. I wanna build make a shipping build of this, or at least a development build of this, and see what properties we get. So maps and modes, we open up shader compilation. This object, right? Oh, no, we don't want to open that directly. We want details panel. So yeah, it opens up the demonstration volume. So I kind of want to do gas default is the name, right? File, recent, gas default. Yeah. Okay, so that's where we're gonna end for there. I'm gonna make a build of my game. I just want to see what performance looks like with these cards showing as they are. We're not gonna stream on Thursday. It's an important day on Thursday. It's my anniversary, 3 years. Let's get some W's in the chat for those still watching. Gotta go to a nice dinner and relax and be with the one I love. So hope you all can do the same. So we might stream on the weekend. I'm not entirely sure. We'll see if we can find space otherwise. But until then, enjoy your night. I'll see you soon.